podcast. I'm your host, Lady She, and I'm calling this the closer.
Oh yeah, the closer's here. Come on,
the closer, y'all. I'm calling this the closer. This has been an amazing week thus far with all the guests that we've had, and I'm excited about this one. So shout out to Black Long Island on Facebook. That's how I actually went across this young man's name. Listen. I know a lot of times people say we don't support each other, but that's not really true. That particular group, they
it's like if you're in Long Island and you black and you do anything, you should be on. Not even if you do anything. If you black and you on Long Island, you need to be on that Facebook page. Black Long Island for sure.
Huge shout out to the Moss couple. They started this group and it's just been phenomenal. Bless y'all, because I definitely make money from that group. I definitely do very well, with my t-shirts and everything, and it's just been a total blessing just seeing, the different things we don't know what's out there. You can just actually literally search, type it in, and a plethora of names will come up, and everybody's black. So when people say we're not doing certain things, check it in. You'll find there's some people doing things, from doctors to business owners, all kinds of stuff is in that group. So shout out to Black Long Island.
And it's crazy. I wasn't even familiar with the Black Long Island group. So, I know we'll get into it a little bit, but when I had the grand opening for the store, the interior designer just posted it on there. And my generation, we not so much on Facebook so much.
That's
so
true.
So she was like, oh, I'm gonna blast you on Facebook. And I'm like, whatever you want to do, like, yeah, thank you. And then it's like more people were coming in from Black Long Island because everybody that comes in, I ask like, oh, did you hear about it before? And they're like, oh, Black Long Island, Black Long Island.
See,
like,
that's so dope.
What is this Black Long Island?
Yeah, let me go see what's good. And that's what happened to me. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, oh, I love your shirts. There's a group. I'm like, okay, because I'm not that. I'm older. I'm not that computer, whatever. I'm still learning about Facebook and stuff. So I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
You be on the gram, huh?
I'll be on the gram more.
Yeah.
But I'm
young. You're young.
I'm still young. So, but I'm trying to learn everything. You know what I'm saying? You want to stay in the loop. You know what I'm saying? When you're building a platform, you're doing business. So, thank you so much to Black Long Island. That's exactly how I ran into the young man on the page. I have a heart for those who, first of all, it takes guts to jump out there and start a business.
Yeah.
It honestly really, really does. So that alone, I commend you. So, without further ado, Mr. Malik Dupri.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Thanks for accepting me. You could look at like this nutcase lady just coming in my store buying shades and stuff.
You show a lot of love, and I want to show love.
Yeah, that's a fact. Listen, iron sharpens irons. That's a fact. Exactly. That's for sure. So, let's jump right in. Who is Malik Dupri?
All right, so Malik Dupri. A little bit about myself. I haven't. Now I guess you could say a serial entrepreneur.
You are.
Yeah, something like that. But I didn't start out this way. I went to school for physical therapy. I graduated, got my doctorate in 2018. So it's been.
It was recent.
Yeah, about 4 years now. It feels like it was like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah, the time is fine.
Yeah, so I was working as a physical therapist in New York City, Manhattan, and I had another clothing line at the time. I was doing that like after work, coming home. They say your 9 to 5 views, like you take your money from your 9 to 5 and use it to invest into your dreams.
Yes.
That's what I was doing. I was following the protocol and everything, and then COVID hit,
right?
And my physical therapy location shut down completely, and now everything shut down. It was quarantine, but it was like how long? That was like 2 months, 2-3 months that we couldn't leave the house.
Oh, you mean we couldn't leave? Yeah, we were literally in prison at our home.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I wasn't.
Yeah, you was outside.
I'm a correctional officer.
Oh, okay. You was an essential worker.
Yeah.
You was an essential worker.
We don't close.
Yeah, so I had another business called Swag Rack, which is designer do-rags and bonnets and hair care stuff. Yeah, we'll talk about. But so basically with COVID happening, pandemic, everything was closed. Like e-commerce just boomed.
Right.
Like people was just buying everything online because you couldn't leave the house.
Yep.
So I was the only time I was leaving the house was just to ship out orders.
Love that.
Yeah. That was an amazing time. But, and then I just saw the opportunities of like fully investing in yourself. So we just never really looked back from there.
Right. Love that. I said, yes, we did it, and rest in peace to the lives that were lost during COVID. But I always feel like COVID was a blessing to so many people.
Yeah, it's like
I think like, oh God,
I was just saying, like, for me, it was like almost like the best and worst thing that happened.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously, rest in peace to everybody that and all the lives and everything that was changed. But it also kind of just it changed the world and it created, you know, new.
It shifted.
It brought things out of you
It
that you didn't know was in
Or
there.
it actually pushed you to do something that you probably was like even doing it like I don't like to start a t-shirt because it kept pushing. Now you're like, yo, I might have to start that now because I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And even,
I'm not gonna get that heat press.
even with that happening, like I always knew I wanted to be a full-time entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And I never really knew like, all right, how much should I be making so that I don't have to go to my day job?
Right.
I'm like, now I have a choice. My day job was closed. So now I was like, all right, I'm a full-time
So
entrepreneur.
it literally kind of forced you to literally kind of basically follow the dream. So, you know, shout out to everybody who, you know, jumped out there and was like, listen, let me just try this thing. Worst that can happen is it don't work.
Exactly.
I ain't got the money. My office is closed, so let's just try this thing. So, you know, that's a cool story. Now, you're growing up. What was your environment like growing up?
I grew up in Alma, not too far from
Oh, you're from Long Island?
Yeah. Well, all right, so I grew up in Queens.
Okay.
I moved out here in 6th grade.
Okay.
I just tell people I'm from Long Island because that's when it matters the most.
Yeah.
Like, once you're in high school and all that,
that's when
so,
you're growing up.
and there's too many, there's too many people that's from Long Island that say they're from Queens. Like,
That's
we're all
a
from
fact.
Long Island. You know, there's some lit stuff going on here. Exactly. So I'm from Long Island. You know.
I'm from Long Island.
Yeah. Anybody that knew me in 6th grade and before, I'm still close to some of my friends. Yeah, I'm from out here now. I'm not jacking that. Yeah.
He's like, they paying me out here, so what's
Nah,
up?
for real.
I'm from Long Island.
Yeah.
That's like,
And it's funny, they say Queens got the money, but
listen, we out here doing our, we're like the kind of like the secret sauce. Like people think we kind of like this.
But how I look at it, there's, you know that big saying, like Queens get the money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like really a lot of people that live in Long Island come from Queens, and when you start getting them, you move to a more, you know, a little better area. But you know, Queens got the money. I got it. But yeah, you know, I went to Salonica High School, if you know where that is.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
that's a good school.
Yeah, it's a good school, diverse school.
Absolutely.
I played sports growing up, football.
What you played? You played football?
Yeah, I played football in college. Yeah.
Really?
Actually, you know, I had some NFL hoops and tried out for some teams. Yeah, combine, pro day, everything. Yeah. But
I took my stuff a little bit. I just look like this. Okay,
so you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, but so I went to school for, you know, I got my doctorate. And if I was to pursue football seriously, I would have had to like stop school. You know, I mean, I also didn't get drafted.
Right.
You know, I would have took the rookie contract of whatever they make. Yeah. I would have took the $5 million and ran with it. Yeah, I would have had to.
That's so cool, though.
Yeah.
So now, because you were in the sports, is that what brought on the physical therapy part? Like, what made you get that?
So, I had good grades in high school, right? Okay. So I had like a 95 average in high school, and I was kind of like same thing, like blessing and a curse because I wanted to pursue football like heavily, but my high school coaches and even like the athletic director, like all the people pushing the colleges on me, they wanted me to go to like a good academic school. So it was
sound like the Colin Kaepernick story.
Yeah.
Everybody on his body, and he's like, nope.
And I'm like, damn, I want to go to like a Florida State or like a, you know, a big top football school. But they wanted me to go to a better academic school and somewhere that I knew I could play like all my years. Because a lot of people, they go and they play at these big schools and they don't end up playing until their last year if they, you know, exactly. So I was blessed. I played my freshman year. We had like a JV team, varsity team. I was on a varsity team freshman year playing. So
it's cool.
I was captain there, everything. Yeah, it was like this is Ithaca College though. Ithaca College, upstate New York. Yeah.
What school is it?
Ithaca. It's like an hour south of Syracuse. Have you ever heard of Cornell University?
Yeah.
It's the same town.
Yeah.
Like Cornell is in.
Is that like past Binghamton?
Yeah, it's close. It's like 45 minutes from Binghamton.
Gotcha. Okay, sounds good. Okay, sir. Come on in here with the brains.
Yeah.
What? And the athletics.
So, you know, that kind of shaped my life, and I'm blessed for how everything shaped out because I wouldn't be here where I am today if I didn't do that trip.
That's a bar.
Yeah.
That's a bar right there. So now, are you the only child?
I have a little sister. She's 19, but she's at New Haven right now.
Oh,
but she's home for the summer.
Okay. So were you like perspective? Like, were you
Of course, come on. Big bro, what you mean?
He's like, you can't date till you're 40.
Yeah, man, she got a boyfriend right now. He's cool. I like him.
Oh, okay. Like, he said that quick. He's
He's cool.
okay. Look at you.
Good guy.
So, mom and dad in the house?
Yeah, both my parents. You
What
know,
are their professions?
my mom was a nurse. My dad was an NYPD detective.
Really?
Yeah. So, we got a stable household.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
That was definitely a lot of my success to this day is like them providing the support and even just like the comfort of like, take risks, like they're like, you're here, like take these risks now while you're young.
Yeah.
And I still live home right now.
Okay.
I'm 27. I don't care.
Listen, let me say this.
I do not care.
Let me say this. If you can do it, do it.
Right.
That's what I say. Listen, first of
Everyone
all,
try.
nobody's paying your bills. Nobody's, listen, it's not your business.
Mind you, I got bills though. My bills like $15,000 a month, but I don't pay no rent.
Exactly.
I pay rent. I got two
Make
rents.
that clear.
Yeah. Don't
got
put me
real
out there
bills.
sleeping on
Right.
couches on mom's couch and not, supporting the cause.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my point is this. Don't feel pressured to have to leave your parents' home because you're a certain age and you should be this far in life or whatever. Your journey is your journey. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Because people automatically feel like you're a dub, if you're a certain age.
And I feel like a lot of like our culture too, like you see those parents like once you turn 18 or even I guess 21, but like once you graduate high school, they start pushing you out of the household, and it's almost like setting you up for failure because like you don't have that support. Like I still need the support from my parents, and I wouldn't be here without that support as well. So I'm grateful, and I'm blessed. I know what I have, and I'm grateful for it.
You are blessed, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that because people don't get it. A lot of us, and then we look back at a lot of people, even the success stories, you'll hear them say, when I was 19, I was acting, I was doing this. They wasn't ready to be out there.
Right.
And they were pushed out.
But you're still like immature and learning. You haven't gone through the real world. Right.
Well, some of us. I know some people grew up rough. But for those who had a certain household setting, you don't have to. Don't do your thing, man. You have loving parents, and your parents are still here. To guide you and to give you advice. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. So, physical therapy, and you decided to get your doctorate.
Yeah. So that's how the field is now. Like all physical therapists, they're all doctors now. It's a doctorate profession. They upped the criteria and curriculum, so now that's standard across the board.
Let me ask you this. That might sound racist.
That's okay. I was the only one
Okay.
in my class. I was the only one. We started with I think 120, and we ended with about like 70 students. And we lost almost even the last year we lost like almost
Nothing last year?
That's crazy.
Oh, I would be throwing up.
So that's even
It could be so bad.
This was the hardest program in the school. Like this is the child program. I was.
It was real deal.
I don't study. My classmates was. I am, and I'm grateful for it too because my classmates was stressing me out. They're like, "Yo, we got a test in 4 or 5 days. You didn't study." I'm like, "I'm good. I know myself." Like do what you got to do over there. Leave me alone because they're stressing me now. And now I'm like, damn, should I be stressed?
Like hold on.
But like, all I got to do is this, boom, 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 and then we got the same grade. So. All right.
Oh my God.
And I've always been like, kind of, I know who I am and how I have to represent too. Like I was like the class rep, the school. They love
so you always had this leadership thing.
Yeah. I kind of, it's been like forced upon me just because of who I am, but I took the role and ran with it, and it became easier over time. Now, I never used to like public speaking at the beginning.
Really?
Like even like talking in class at the beginning, I used to get nervous and all that, but as you do it more and more, you get used to it.
See what he said? As you do it more and more, you get used to it. Thank you for that.
And that's everything in life.
Yeah.
Even with this business stuff, like I still get nervous with stuff, but like not as when I first started. And a lot of people like they hold themselves back by not starting things because they're nervous. And then they're like, yo,
Just
I don't know, yo, just start.
Yeah,
Because you gotta
just
figure
start.
whatever it is that you don't know, you're gonna figure it out. Like
See this? I'm just starting.
yeah,
and I'm just doing it.
you gotta figure it out. And even if you don't know, you're like, all right, boom, I don't know this. Let me figure out how to do this. And it's little tasks here, there, little things, and it all combines to the big picture.
That's a fact. Come on, drop the ball, Blake.
I'm trying to tell them.
Yes, sir.
You know, there's things I learned over the
Yeah,
years.
yeah,
So,
yeah, absolutely.
I know it can help people as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what this is about. We want to encourage people. Jump out there and do it. Like I said, the most that can happen, you can fail. Even if you fail the first time, you might fail a second time. Try it. If you know it's for you, if it's nudging at you, it's nagging you, man, do something. That's what I'm going to tell you. You don't want to, get older and you regret or see somebody else that you share the idea with and now they're doing it and you're not. Like, just jump out there and do it. Like,
and the best part about failing that I realized, like, it creates other opportunities. And once you start doing it, let's say Malik Dupri, right? Now that I've created this brand and I'm in the field, like there's so many opportunities every day that presents itself that I see, oh, I could do this, but I'm focused on what I'm doing right now. And all right, let's say somebody came to me today, they have their water bottle business, and they kind of wanted me to like be a partner for their brand.
okay.
And at the end of the day, it doesn't really align with me because I have to focus completely on what I'm doing.
Right.
But like, if this Malik Dupri stuff didn't work out, I've learned how to build a brand through, if it didn't work out, through failing. And I can now go and do something else and use the skills that I learned along the way, and it's going to be so much easier. So this is like my third brand now that I've started, yeah. And the other ones are still active, still going, but this one is the most successful just off of the things that I learned through the other ones.
Give me the chronological. Give me I started this one such and such year, it did well, then I tried this one this year.
So first brand was Savage with this one here. I keep it on me.
Okay.
There's a clothing line. Co-founder, the song Migos, Bad and Bougie. My name is Savage Ruthless. So this was back in 2017. I have a business partner. His name's Corey Van Doren. So with the physical therapy stuff, I had to do an internship in Florida. And I met him out there. He started the brand at his school. And I was friends with him. I'm seeing him. I'm like, yo, I can bring this to my school. Now I'm lit at school. I was a captain of the football team. I wasn't. No, I'm serious. So then I brought it over. And I took my student loan money, like $2,000. Boom, I took it. I was supposed to use it on textbooks. I didn't get none of the textbooks. I didn't stay. I paid attention in class. So,
that was good.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying
so, yeah. Pay attention in class.
Yeah.
And
pay attention.
What I found, don't take this. And everybody, it doesn't work for everybody, but a lot of the colleges, they require you to get these certain textbooks and you never use it.
That's a fact.
Yeah, and the textbooks be like $400 or $500.
That's a fact.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna hold this money on the side. Once they tell me I need the textbook for this,
yes,
then I'll get it. And they got the textbooks in the library.
The facts
And you're not gonna use it again after that year, so
yeah.
He
talking
that's
all the way
my
right.
own money. I took it.
No lies.
I bought hoodies with it.
Okay.
And then those hoodies, I think I bought $2,000 worth of hoodies, however much, I think it was like 100 or so hoodies, and they went in a month.
Yes.
And I just kept flipping it.
Right.
And then I was just buying it from my business partner. At the time, we weren't business partners, I was just buying it. And then it was like, all right, we got to be business partners. I brought value. And then, so that was 2017.
Okay.
And then 2018, I graduated. At the end of 2018, I started Swag Rag. That was the do-rags and the bonnets.
So you had this going on.
Yeah.
And then you started Swag Rag.
Yeah, and I was doing the physical therapy.
Okay.
And then COVID. What was COVID? 2019 or 2020?
I think 2019.
Yeah, I believe so, right? March 2019? Yeah. Or was it 2019?
I thought it was earlier than 2019. I got married in 2019.
That's only
No.
It's 2020.
It had to be like 2018.
2018, I graduated in August. So it wasn't. It was 2020 because I worked for a year and a half until COVID came. I'm positive. And then I opened the store.
Oh, no, you know what? You're right because I remember we just kind of missed the mark of COVID.
Yeah.
We were able to have an actual business.
isn't it crazy that COVID is a time in history?
It's not insane.
It's like, oh, pre-COVID.
Right.
And you
We
think
went
that,
through this.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is different.
So yeah, once, when COVID was around, Swag Rag was getting started, but it wasn't like a force yet. And I had Savage with this, and I was doing physical therapy, and then COVID hit, and then Swag Rag just went crazy, like crazy.
What made you do that? What made you do that particular business?
Every business I do is stuff I like myself. So like even when you watch Shark Tank, and like if you ever see the Damon John do, he's like, I only invest in businesses that like I gravitate towards, or like exactly. So Swag is like waves, and like brushing your hair. I have ways I could take the hat off and shut up.
No, we didn't see that.
I don't know.
We didn't see that. Y'all here faking stuff. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm asking because that's the kind of thing. When it comes to my family setting, we gravitate the things we actually like. My oldest, he has this way. Some of people always tell him like, his hair looks so nice. I'm like, you need to make your own stuff. Like, let's see what's good. And that's the thing, because once you create a business around things you're doing yourself, like you become passionate about it. Absolutely. And it's easy to promote it. You're your own best brand ambassador. Right. Absolutely. So, smart. Yeah. So now, 2017, this is started with a partner.
Yeah.
Now, you guys parted ways.
We still do it. Yeah, it's 2022.
Where is he?
He lives in Florida.
So he's still in Florida.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah. See, let me do this. No excuse game right now. Right. No hashtag no excuses. They live this far apart and they're still doing what these people do.
It was crazy. It was like
love that.
Like nights, hours, like it was crazy. It was difficult for sure, but you can make it happen.
You can do it. Right. So now you have the two. Where did Malik Dupri come from?
So Swag Rag was going so crazy, like I knew I needed to do something else. Like I was making more money I was making like $30,000 a month selling do-rags.
So I need to get down with this.
You
gotta teach me.
So,
or teach my son.
Also, I could talk about it because I don't really care. It was like designer do-rags and bonnets.
Right.
So like I didn't have the copyright for it. So like I knew like it wasn't gonna last forever, and like I could technically that could be taken away and things like that. So I was like, I'm gonna create a brand. I always knew like Savage Judas, I had that, but I always wanted my own brand.
Love that.
More like a luxury brand.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Malik Dupri is.
So now, have you ever like taken any courses or anything connected to fashion?
Or
you have an eye?
Yeah, it's really just kind of having an eye. Like I learned graphic design. I do have most of the graphic design.
You do?
Yeah, but even the shirt right here, I cooked this up myself and boom, bam, So learning, like taking the skills. I'm just saying.
That's dope.
Yeah, I learned the skills. I actually had a little there's a graphic design course in like 10th grade, and just the basics. Yeah. So like those basics go a long way though. And
you paid attention.
Yeah, paid attention class and things which I retained things. So I once I started doing clothing, I was like, oh, that's how you do it. That's how you, and then you do it more, you get better.
Yeah.
And, now, so from learning with Savage Judas, I learned how to operate a business, how to, create clothing. And then when Malik Dupri came around, it was just like,
it was your world already. Yeah. I love that. This is different. So now, when you say I learned how to do the business, explain to people, because I had somebody say to me recently, t-shirt stuff is saturated now. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? T-shirts saturated?
I mean, you can look at it that way. But for me, I try to not focus on what everybody's doing. Like at the end of the day, there's money for everybody. There's a market for everybody, and you can't say the T-shirt is saturated because then people are not gonna make T-shirts.
Right.
Like there's people making money every single day. That's your excuse saying I don't want to compete. You got to take that competition and be like, okay, it's saturated, but I'm gonna come with this and change the game. And I'm gonna be the one that everybody is looking to, and boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Because I started this brand 2 years ago, and it was saturated then. I feel like nowadays, like everybody's kind of learning how to create their own business. Like the chalk is out there more.
Right.
So I do feel like clothing is almost like the easiest business to start because you can come up with an idea today, put it on today and put it on a shirt or something and sell it today.
Right.
You know, but you got to be dedicated behind it because it's more than just like you're saying. Learning how to operate a business is more than just making sales.
That's a fact.
And there's a whole lot of things that go into it.
So what do you, when it comes down to like, you know, the legalities of things, you know, having an LLC, you know, can you share like the difference in what route you went, you know, LLC versus S corp, or you know, just a few details about that.
So I'm still learning to this day. Right now, all of my businesses are LLCs. You know, there's certain advantages you get tax-wise for having an S corp. You might save a couple thousand here and there.
Yeah.
But I just after this year sitting down, I have accountants now that handle all my books. You know, you can't do everything.
That's how I'm learning.
Yeah.
The accountants is tough.
Yeah. And that's the best thing.
Like,
Yeah. Let the professionals teach you.
Absolutely.
And that's what I've been learning too in the game. Like, you have to hire people that is their job.
Right.
You know, and your job is really a manager of the business. Like, you don't need to be doing everything. Like, even with t-shirts, like I used to make the t-shirts in my house. Like, now, if y'all get me to make a t-shirt for you, that thing is $1,000 because I'm not putting that work in.
Yeah, my husband's probably on it like exactly. Yeah. Probably screaming at the screen.
Bro, because it's you know, when you first starting out and you don't have like that crazy quantities that you got to make. Like, it's cool to make a few of them here and there, but it takes time, you know. And I was in there for hours, sweating, pressing them, and
people like, how much the shirt?
Yeah,
like you don't know what to do.
And even at the beginning, like, okay, I might say a shirt $30-$40, but really that same shirt that I used to sell for $30-$40 that I would make now is a minimum of, I'm telling you, gotta be 100.
Love that.
Come
on with the bond.
That's the biggest thing. You gotta be confident in yourself, and you gotta be okay with, you know, not knowing, like, if somebody doesn't appreciate whatever the price is, you gotta be okay with letting them walk off.
It's not your customer.
That is.
It's just not your customer. You gotta stop taking these things so personal. Yeah. It's just not your customer. You know what I'm saying?
In the world's not gonna
Thank you for saying that. Yeah. Thank you for saying that, because people get, you know, it starts to get here, and then you feel like this stuff is not hot, or no, you better be waking up like my stuff is fire.
Right.
Listen, $100.
And if you don't see it, okay,
cool.
And when the price is $250 for it, you saw that, huh? But
exactly.
But
love that.
Damn, I was just about to say something else about, you know, your certain customer, but.
So you're still learning basically, you know, the ins and outs reference to legalities and hiring. I love that you told them, you know, hire people.
Yeah. And one thing I learned too, just simple things for, you know, business owners out there. Everybody thinks, oh, when I create my business, how do I do the trademark? They confuse trademark and LLC.
Yeah, they do.
You know, so LLC is the first thing that you want to do, and that basically makes your business like official. And now you can, I think my phone died, but we don't have to worry about that. It makes your business official. It's registered to the IRS. You're technically supposed to report all your sales and everything. The trademark is once your business is like growing and you need to protect it. At the end of the day, everybody think, yo, I got this business, I need to trademark this, so nobody's stealing my idea. Nobody's stealing your idea. You're good. Just start it. Like, start your business, start selling it. Right. And once you start making thousands, like tens of thousands of dollars, that's when you need to start thinking about trademarking your idea.
Thank you for saying that. Because, you know, I was just having a conversation with somebody recently who's been doing their business for years. And when I asked them a certain question, they were like, I'm like, yeah, I'm not in house. Yeah. I'm like, what? Yeah. Like, you missed out all these perks. Yeah. Like, and they're just like, I never did it. I'm like, oh Lord. I'm like, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but speak to an accountant. And, you know, I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I'm like, you're missing out on, you know, the flights, the different events and stuff that you can write off. You know, you gotta learn this stuff.
Everything I write off.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just use my business card for everything. Even
everything.
It's not a write off. The accountant, I tell them.
Yep, this is what happened. This is what I made.
I was doing that for business.
Yes, absolutely.
Everything is business.
Come on, believe.
I went to Vegas. Yeah, I was showing the glasses.
That's it. Period. So now, you started with the t-shirts with Malik Dupri. You know, tell us all that's going, because listen, I'm gonna be super fly. The end of the month, I can't wait to post myself. Yes, in my Malik Dupri.
So
What made you do
the
shades?
brand actually started with the glasses.
Did it?
Yeah, with the glasses. Yeah. So let me tell you a little bit more. So I was telling you
Yeah.
everything that start is more like it's the things that I gravitate towards and use my like I wear glasses like shades a lot. So I was buying shades and then creating these businesses. I'm like, all right, I know how to make my own line of shades. So let me just do that. And I did it. And I didn't really think I mean, of course I knew it would be successful. I didn't know it would go crazy, crazy, crazy. And it's funny, I got my first shipment like the end of June, right before 4th of July of 2020, right?
Okay.
And one of my friends, like one of my best friends, Royden, right? He was like, he knew that I got him because I think he had to help me like just organize the boxes. And then he came on 4th of July. He's like, 4th of July, let me just get up here real quick. And I'm like, all right, don't post it on Instagram because I'm not ready to website. I'm like, the website's not set up. Like my inventory, I don't got it counted and everything. And then he put them on, and I was like, nah, let me just. And then it went crazy right there.
He like,
my
choice is dope. Go ahead, do it.
Yeah, and then that day, like I sold like 10 pairs of the glasses, and the next day like 20 pairs, and my house was looking like a trap house. People were coming like literally 2 a.m. 2 a.m. They were coming to come get glasses. Yeah, because I was only selling them for like $40
right.
at the time. Now it's like $120.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And they were flying like hotcakes. So then I just had to go official and take everything serious, and then
go crazy.
It was it from there. So I started that 4th of July 2020, and then November of 2020 I opened a kiosk in the mall because I was
mall?
First of all,
okay.
So I had a kiosk first. So you seen the store, but I had a kiosk first.
Cool.
Because it was too crazy. It was like too many people coming to the house, and it was like that's my parents' house where my family stays and whatnot.
That's a lot.
It's not even my house. It's like, oh mom, I'm not home, but can you leave
this
color in the mailbox?
Wow.
They gotta put the money under the carpet. Make sure. So then and then even one thing that's funny, like deliveries, like local deliveries. Let's say Brooklyn, right? To go to Brooklyn is like 30 minutes sometimes, and it's like, how much do you value your time? So to drive to Brooklyn and back is an hour. Could be more. How much am I charging for delivery fee? And even to put on the load, if I say, because I was making $50 an hour doing physical therapy, so should I charge them $50 for a delivery fee? And that's kind of crazy. So then I'm like, I don't do deliveries. I don't do deliveries. You gotta pick it up or order from the site. And that makes it official. And then one thing, if you have a business, create a website. Don't have them order through the DMs because it just makes everything more official. You gotta make everything do. One of the biggest things I teach other business owners is like, don't treat your small business like a small business.
Bars.
Yeah, and it's like, I got some stuff to tell the people.
Let's go, bro.
And I say that because like the same thing. A lot of us like Black business owners, we almost try to like, not everybody, but try to like. I feel like some people give themselves like pity or a little bit like, oh, bear with me, I'm a small business.
Yeah, no.
And,
tap into that.
Yeah, and I feel like if you have that mindset, like it's not gonna give you the growth that you want to make. Like I consider myself as like I want to be like Louis Vuitton or Michael Kors, a household name.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
If they were in my shoes, what would they be doing?
Right.
They wouldn't have customers ordering through the DM and tell me your address and this. Nah, people don't want to do that. They want to go to the site, boom, see everything look clean, official, click this, add to cart, check out, boom. And that's how you got to do it.
It's the bars for me.
That's
a fact because, even though Black Long Island is dope, we do see some of that in the group as well. When people like, oh, I was over here. They don't care.
Right.
They don't care.
People are coming to spend their money with you. Like, treat them with professionality and how any big business would you. So if you want to get
learn it. It may not be your life. Everybody don't have it. Let's just say that everybody don't have it, but you're gonna have to learn it if you want to be taken serious. So thank you so much for saying that. I was gonna ask you something. We both had a moment, huh?
Well, I'll keep going with the story. So November 2020, I opened the kiosk, and it was going well. And it took, within the next like 3 or 4 months, I signed a lease to have the store. Yeah, so then we opened the store June 12th. Actually, Sunday that just passed was our 1 year
I
anniversary.
know, happy anniversary. I had put that in the post. I'm like, y'all make sure y'all stop by on Sunday.
Yeah, thank
That's
you.
dope.
Yeah, so it's been a year that we've been in the store.
Now, let me ask this, because I was going to get a kiosk, something about it for my this, the hair care stuff. Roosevelt Field is a great mall to
Top
be in.
top 10 mall in the country.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
So with that, with the kiosk being the beginning of it, what was that like? And what had you say, you know what, I need a store now?
So, I've been blessed to have support the whole time. I advertised the grand opening and had a lot of people come out, and even having the kiosk, and I have a product and personality that sells.
Right.
So it was always kind of moving. It wasn't really
Like
like
consistent.
yeah, it was consistent and it was growing. And it was like, I knew I wanted the store from the beginning.
Right.
But also, Roosevelt Field Mall looking at me as a young black, I was 25 at the time, young black kid coming in, oh, you have any stores available? Like, who is this kid? Like, And so I kind of had to prove myself to them first,
Gotcha.
So, and that's what I did with the store, paid my rent on time for the kiosk, no problems with anything, proper business.
So wait, you went to them first for the store,
I went to them for the store first,
and they didn't give it to you?
And mind you, this is November 2020, like midst the COVID. Like,
Right.
you couldn't walk in the mall without a mask.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of stores closed
Mhm.
and closing.
Mhm.
And I came in there like, oh yeah, I want to open a store. And they're like, nope, we don't have any stores available. Mind you, I'm walking by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like
White wall,
yeah.
such coming soon.
Right, and it's
Wow.
like, yeah. So I think it was that I think it's that way, it's like I had to prove myself first,
Right.
and that's what I did, and now I got the store. And I think they love me there, I hope
think
so.
they love you
I
there.
hope so.
I fell in love with the store. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, it was good energy. If that makes any sense. Like it was good energy. It was good energy for sure. It was easy to shop.
Right, and I feel like that's what people come to the store for, kind of like the experience too, because you could get the stuff online, but you want to come to the store, try the things on, feel
Meet the
good.
face.
Yeah, exactly.
Name, like
Exactly. You're not gonna go to any stores and meet the owner.
True.
Right? And I give people the same information that I'm giving now. You come into the store, I chop it up. A lot of people come in, I'm thinking about starting my business, this and that. First thing I started.
Right.
Same
Right.
stuff we talking about, started. Like you could do it. Like a lot of everything that I'm talking about now, I give the same information to people that come up.
You get $1 million game in the store.
And I feel like that started to become like my purpose in life.
Love that.
Yes, because at the end of the day, like it's more than just like selling clothes. Like I know I have a responsibility to like, put on for us.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's
I'm the
go.
youngest store owner in the mall history, by the way.
Woo.
And,
Hello. I love that. Let's go. Let's go. So start with the kiosk. How much did you make with the kiosk a month?
It wasn't nothing crazy. Maybe like 15.
Okay. And how much was the rent for the kiosk?
I'm not allowed to talk about.
Okay.
I have to sign.
Okay. Very good. Very good. 'Cause
But-
I know, like in other malls, it's not the same because they don't get as much
Yeah.
traffic.
But it was enough time. You got to think about it.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
But the store was more
Gotcha.
obvious.
Yeah, obviously, but yeah, do your thing. So get the store now. What was that feeling like? When you knew it was like, I just closed on having my own store.
It's crazy. It was stressful because all right, so let's see, time frame of things. So I think like the beginning of March, I signed the lease. 2021. So I opened the kiosk November 2020.
Okay.
So I opened right before Black Friday. Grand opening
Smart.
lit. Black Friday lit.
Wow.
Christmas time lit.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to open a store.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. So March comes around and they finally are like, oh, we have a store opening opportunity. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, but you got to sign a lease right now and you're opening like April 1st is when you have to like, start paying for the store. They're like, it's March now, we'll give you to April. You got to start paying the full store rent. And I'm like, damn, when I open the store, I want to have clothing too, because glasses only take so much of the store. So I'm like, all right, damn. Let me now, I know how to make clothing and everything. I'm like, let me get my money together and get all this merchandise. And actually, I kind of got, I'll tell you a story. I got burned a little bit. You know, there was
In
this
the beginning?
yeah, so there was this company I was working with. Apparently, their family owned Zoomies and PacSun, and all the manufacturing and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, they could be my manufacturers. I already know what I want to make. Boom, boom, boom. So I told them everything like by mid-March what I needed. And I'm like, my grand opening could be April 1st as long as I get all this stuff. Mind you, I'm dealing with them, working on merchandise. I'm also building out the store, you know, building the store up to everything that I need to be, while also running the kiosk, you know, while also swag rag, you know, yeah. So it's crazy. So I got a lot on my plate, and you know, it ended up like I told them like mid-March. I didn't get my clothing until like June, the second week of June. So 3 months that I was paying rent for, you know, premium rent. Yeah, so when I opened the store, the grand opening, they're like, congratulations, you know, we're proud of you. The 3 months of rent that you haven't paid so far, we need that next week. You know? Yeah, so it's kind of good.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, that was a whole experience in itself. But nobody really knows that story because I don't have to talk about that. You know?
Right.
For the people that didn't know, nobody knew my store was opening April 1st. It was just opening soon.
Right.
You know, and I'm telling the mall management people like, bear with me, like I'm waiting on this merchandise. I know I said I was gonna open April 1st, but May 1st, and then May 1st come around like June 1st.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like June 10th. I'm like June 12th.
Like
Yeah.
June 12th at 12 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
That's the behind the scenes of it. So
That's dope though. That's dope. Everybody has this, all the successful people have the craziest stories. So, thank you so much for being transparent, and sharing these things with us. So, listen, y'all, I love this stuff. I ain't gonna hold you. I was like, oh, we love to shop, so it was just easy. Like, honestly, it was just very easy to shop in there that day. We were leaving, literally.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's the guy. I'm like, I'm gonna go in here. And Mom was like, what? I'm like,
yeah. And it was funny because I had known about his brand too. Just from social media, I think. I definitely see it, and I've seen other people wearing it. So, I'm in tune with what's going on in the streets, I guess you could say. The street wear. Because
shout out to Chase Money.
Chase Money, man.
Let's go. I should have kind of left the shirts there, huh?
Yes.
But even with that, I love you said that opportunity will come to you. When you mentioned the story about the water bottles, we walk in the store. I'm just like, oh, I want to see him. I would love to interview him. Let me see if he's there. That's exactly what I said. Let me see if he's there, and it was literally him.
Yeah.
So that was fun from the beginning.
Yeah.
But it was just a good energy in there. You were very inviting, and I love that you were talking to us, and then when you see other people walk in, you actually greeted them.
Yeah.
If you own a store, greet the people. Like, they don't have to come into your establishments.
They don't have to come and give you their money.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
He literally spoke to every person that walked in, because I watch everything. I don't say much, but I watch everything.
Yeah.
And he's like, hello, how are you? And they're like, hi. And he's like, can I help with something? I have shades up here. And I was like, come on, sir. And I was like, let him do his thing. But it was very inviting. And I can't wait for my trip.
Yeah. Where are you going again?
I'm going to Oakville Sands. This is a resort in Florida, and then I'm going to Mexico. So I'll be rocking.
Yeah, I need a little trip myself. I need to get away.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. So let me ask you this. I saw that you had vests, shirts, you had the button-ups. How can I ask the question?
Like
What's your
influence.
style?
I just make stuff that I like. I see things that I like out there, and then I'll put my sauce on it.
Love that.
So I basically, the store is the style of me, really. And I've never, growing up in high school, my mom was a nurse and my dad was a cop. Not to say that we were poor, we weren't poor, but we were never rich.
You were okay?
Yeah, we were fine, but I never had like the nicest things. Like I never had Louis Vuitton and designer. You know, my friends were wearing like BBC, and I would say like, "Yo," he was like, "Oh yeah, this shirt costs $75 for a shirt." Yeah, my shirts is like $20, $30.
Right, 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 right.
Yeah, you know, but and it's funny now because I look at it and I'm like, wow, you know, like those type of things. Now I make sure I'm like $100.
Yeah, right, right. You're like, now I'm them. Yeah. I love that. I love that. So
But
do you think that was like strategic with your parents? So, you don't operate like that, like looking to just be looking a certain way or spend a certain dollar. You think it kept you grounded growing
yeah,
up?
definitely. You know, and it kind of everything that I went through kind of created me as a person and who I am today. So I'm grateful for all of that. I wonder if maybe if I wore more designer stuff growing up, if maybe the brand would go in a different direction. But I like the way
It
it's
was
going
meant to
right now.
know. This
Yeah.
is this is you. This is
And even just like I get a lot of influence from like other brands and like I go out to Cali sometimes. I like the Cali wear, like the streetwear
I
vibes
can
and
see that. I
a
can
lot
see
of
that.
those brands. And I feel like there's not like too much stuff out here like that. So it kind of like fills a little niche and void that.
Ooh,
You know,
come on, Malik.
yeah.
Dropping bars.
I try to do a little bit of everything. I don't have everything's unisex,
Mhm.
and that's me being cheap. Honestly, that's me like because I'm not a girl, so I don't know what girls like love. So I don't want to
Right.
spend my money
No, I get
on
it.
creating female clothing that is like, oh, ew,
See,
like,
when you get married,
yeah,
it'll probably change
Yeah.
a little bit because that's my husband's like, yo, what are y'all wearing? Like, okay, I'm seeing the females wear this. Is that a thing? I'm like, oh yeah, they doing this now. And I'm not that girly, but I still pay attention to this stuff. So
and
I
then the
honestly
thing
get
is
that.
too, girls be wearing guy stuff.
The facts.
So it's like let me just make guy stuff
Right.
and everybody gonna buy. Or if I'm gonna make only
That's
girl stuff
smart.
and only girls gonna buy it,
That's
like
smart.
that cuts
That is
off
smart.
half my clientele. I could just make,
Believe it.
and it's funny because the females be coming in like, oh, you got anything for girls? Yeah, everything. Nah,
He's
I'm
like,
like-
you can wear this vest with a bikini.
yeah.
Do you? Yeah, I love that.
No, but
That's smart.
there's definitely I gotta focus more on the females. I gotta show some more love because they want they tight,
It's a-
fit, look good. Like you got your favorite leggings and your
Right.
favorite boom shirt over here. It fits you the right way. So
They want
gotta
those
get
accents, accented.
it's coming. It's coming. So if
Okay.
any of y'all looking
Y'all
out
heard
for
it
that,
first here, daggone it. I'm
literally,
like, Lady
literally,
She.
you'll see it before the end of the year.
Let's
Before
go.
the end of the year.
We call it.
Next
We wait.
drop.
We want to see that. We want
Next
to see
drop.
that. I'll be in the store for sure.
Right.
But that's amazing. Thank you so much for being transparent. I just see greater for you.
Yeah.
Like you got that drive. Like I just feel like you can do whatever you put your mind to, and that's inspiring. Especially at your age. So thank you so much for saying yes to me coming on here. So what is next for you?
What's next? This is really going crazy. At the end of the day, I'm still like, people are always like, oh, when's your next store opening? And then I'm like, yo, bro, chill out. This is like, one store is like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I feel like I kind of make things look easy. So it's like, if I was to be like over here struggling more, like people would kind of like, I don't really like ask for help, And it's like a lot of things, it's just like, it looks like it is going smooth.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff
yeah.
that is like, like, all right, I still don't have the store like exactly how I want it yet. It's still building and stuff that I need to go. So until I do that and I feel like confident in myself, that I feel like I'm ready for a next store, that's another store. I could open another and it could be successful. You don't want to grow too quick, and that's one thing I feel like some people sometimes they kind of hurt themselves because you expand too quickly and then it's like now you really got too much on your plate and you're taking away from other things. But eventually another store is on the map. Like I said, Cali, I would love to open a store out there.
I think you would do so well out there.
And it's a lot
You
of
said it. It
Cali
makes so
vibes,
much
yeah.
sense. Yeah.
People are always like, yo, you gotta open a store in Miami, and that's another area. So Cali, Miami. And hopefully, just working with more artists and doing like, some real big collabs, so there's some stuff that is in the mix, there's nothing solidified yet, but
It's out there.
yeah,
It's
it's
in
out
the-
there.
Ooh, let's go. Let's go. Do you have a mentor?
I don't have a mentor, which is crazy, I see stuff, I see people, I study, I look what's out there. I have taken courses, just like your typical e-commerce courses, like you gotta learn the basics
Really
of
do have to
stuff.
learn this stuff.
And even if you're not gonna be a pro of it, you should at least, if you're gonna hire people to do certain stuff, you should know the basics of it.
Yeah.
Like even with the taxes, like when my accountant talks to me, like I understand what he's saying. It's not just okay.
Okay, go ahead. How much is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Because
For you.
at first I started with the legal Zoom and I filed myself. So they can't tell me, oh, it's got to be 4,000 to incorporate it.
Right.
That costs $400, bro. You gotta charge me 1,000, okay? Maybe at most 50, but not more than that. I know how much it really costs. Yeah. Even with like attorneys and stuff, like you gotta understand, so you're not being taken advantage of. Even the graphic design, like I outsource and work with a lot of graphic designers, collabs, so they can never say nothing crazy. Because some of them talk crazy.
Oh, that's a
Some of them, they're like, oh, $1,000 for a design.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, all right, bro, I'll do it myself.
So what about like you handle your marketing and stuff as well? Or you
Yeah.
just the website
So everything, there's so much things that I need to grow with, and there's so many places that I'm like trying to like build a team. That's one of the biggest things as well, building a team.
Absolutely.
Building a team that you're confident with. I feel like in the store, I have a good team. I got to build that a little bit more. I think we have like 4 of the employees. Shout out to y'all. Y'all know who y'all are.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, because
I don't know.
they're Ben, Lisa, Laura, Amber.
These are the days.
Yeah. They know.
That's cool.
And I didn't even go into the store today. And I feel confident that they handle. Yeah, exactly. Of course, it's better when I'm there because people are like, "Oh, who's Malik?"
Right.
Boom, boom, boom. But sometimes, I got other stuff to do today. Yeah. And, yeah, you said, what was the last question?
No, that was it. That was basically it. I said, what's next? So you let us know what's next. Let me ask you this. I'm like a big reader. Like I like to read books and stuff like that. So sometimes I'll ask my dad, I guess, like if there's certain books that you've read that you would share
So
with
the
us.
book that changed my life was Rich Dad Poor Dad. You ever
Oh
read
yeah,
that one?
absolutely.
Yeah, the Robert Kiyosaki. And I recommend that to everybody because it really like shows you like how the world works,
Absolutely.
and it really just kind of almost tries to like show you that there's more out there than the rat race, which is the 9 to 5. And not to say that that's not a good job or like it's essential,
Right.
but if you also want to be an entrepreneur, like you have to have, there's different tiers of things. So I don't know, that kind of brought the real entrepreneur world to light for me, and like from there I'm like it just started like rewiring my brain, and I'm like, damn,
Wheels are turning.
yeah, and I'm like, oh, you could do this, because there's like secrets that
Absolutely.
I'm like you would never know, and that's one thing also, with our community, of course we're not really like taught financial literacy, but with me I never pity at all. I'm like, if I don't know something, it's my responsibility to go learn it. And there's people out there that are like, they never taught us that, so how are we supposed to win?
You can't
but
use that excuse. Not when it's Google.
Like, come on.
And there's YouTube.
Today's day, like, you can
Yeah.
learn anything you want. You can learn NFTs and cryptos.
Hashtag
I still
no
don't really know what those
excuse.
are. But, if that's what you want to do, you can learn it. So,
Yeah.
and people got to take it amongst themselves. So, even I have a course where I teach e-commerce. It's a PowerPoint presentation I made.
I see how you do that out there.
Yeah,
Look
little.
at this guy.
Come on, hit me
Oh,
up
yeah,
on
of course.
Instagram if you want to know, you learn.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
it's like all the stuff that I learned over like the 5 years of doing this. So that's why like Malik Dupri has been so successful like out of the start, because I've learned. Boom! If I'm starting this LLC, social media,
Yeah, like
boom,
the-
boom, boom.
the
Yeah, it's a little
basics,
checklist,
yeah.
and this is how you get the brand started off the ground. This is how you elevate it, and
And how do they find us?
just hit me up on Instagram. But if you just type in on Google like e-commerce, Malik Morris, like he'll pop up.
This guy. He said it all nonchalantly. You gotta love this person. You gotta love this guy.
But it's really for the teaching, because
Gotcha.
it's like I think I charged like $50 for it, but it's worth thousands.
Yeah.
Like it could literally make you
Facts.
thousands, and it's just like $50 just to put a price on it, because there's so many people that are like, I tell you, they come into the store and they're like, how do you do this? How do you do that? And I don't mind sharing the information, but if you want the real information, it's gonna take time. You know, I was sitting on the phone for like an hour talking to people every day, and I was like, all right. And I was charging at one point. I was like, I don't even want the $50 for an hour phone call. I'm like, yeah, bro, you don't want to just like. And then I created the course, and then now I don't have to do anything.
Love that.
And they get the full energy from me, all the information, and that's what.
You chilling?
Yeah.
You at the store?
But yeah. But I feel like the purpose though is really that knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, because you take that, and it's a matter of what you do with it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's on you after that. Awesome. Thank you so much. What would you leave the people with? If somebody just came on right now and was like, oh man, I missed it. What they saying? What would you want to leave them with?
Whatever it is that you want to do in life, you can do it for real. You know, it sounds cliche, but it really is. You know, it's easier said than done, but you just got to put the work in it. And everything in life, the work that you put in, you'll be rewarded from it. So if I could do it, you could do it too. Look, I'm a kid from right down the block. You know,
yeah.
I live here.
Long Island.
Yeah, come on, Long Island. Long Island, get the money.
Inside joke, you missed it. You just come on.
Right.
That is dope. Listen, thank you so much for coming on tonight, Mr. Malik Dupri. Tell the people where they can reach you.
Yeah, hit me on Instagram, Malik Dupri, Malik. There's a period, Dupri. And we got a store in Roosevelt Film Mall. That's 630 Old Country Road. We right across from Gap, the main floor. You can't miss us. And we got some drip in there.
There's some drip in there. Be that check in Mexico. What? Stop playing with us.
You lucky I don't got the female summer stuff.
Yeah. When you get that, I'm in there. I'm there. But yes, please be on the lookout for Mr. Malik Dupri's store. You know, support this young man. He's doing him. Listen, hit him up for that course because it can literally change your life. You want to be educated in these things. If you're going to do it for real. Right. That's what I'm saying. If you're going to do it for real. Everything he's done it for real. He's been consistent with doing it for real. So, you know, thank you so much once again. Anybody else you want to shout anybody out? Or shout your employees?
If I missed you, I'm sorry, but look, I appreciate everybody and mom, dad, you know, sister, everybody, wifey.
Yeah.
I don't know, everybody who's helped me get here. You know, I might not say the name, but I'm appreciative.
Love that. Listen, make sure you guys subscribe to How My Believe She podcast. Support all my guests, all my dope. This is the closer for the week, Mr. Malik Dupri. Listen, thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you later.
All right. Thank God.
Peace. Yes, thank God.